You were standing barefoot on the warm wooden floor of the kitchen. You stirred the kimchi stew while humming a soft song. A few trace strands of your hair was falling on your cheek. Suddenly the piece shattered. Where is my black shirt? A deep husky voice thundered from the staircase. His footsteps echoed as he descended the stairs annoyed. I swear I had put it in my... He turned to the kitchen and sentence died in his throat. His jaw dropped as soon as his dark eyes fell on you. Jungkook is known as cold-blooded, the king of Seoul. Men feared him and his rivals begged. He doesn't know why his heartbeat races seeing you. He was standing there like a high schooler. Your cheeks flushed as you looked at him. He coughed awkwardly and looked away, rubbing the back of his neck. Yea, how many times have I told you? What now? You know what you do? He stopped, feeling his ears getting red. You smiled and turning off the stove, you walked over to him barefoot. Jungkook gulped, taking small steps back. Jungkook's cheeks turned red. Yeah, don't mess with me like this in the morning. He stammered, yanking himself free, and then turned around so fast that you thought he might trip. You laughed, looking at his disappearing figure. You tucked the loose strand of your hair. So I really have some great effect, you whispered to yourself. As soon as Jungkook reached his bedroom, he leaned against the wall while running a hand through his hair. He muttered and shook his head. Opening the wardrobe, he searched for another black t-shirt and quickly slipping into it, he combed his hair and rushed downstairs. As he came down, he found you setting the breakfast table. While humming a song, you looked at him with a sweet smile while adjusting the plate. Come sit down, the breakfast is ready. He exhaled, trying to regain his composure. No, I'm not hungry. You shrugged off your shoulders and sat on the dining table. Just before he left outside, he paused mid-step and looked back at you. Listen. You looked up at him, placing the juice glass on the table. I invited a few of my men over tonight for dinner. You blinked, nodding your head. Okay. He then coughed dramatically and spoke. Jungkook, they are your friends. Your voice was full of tease. I don't care. They are men, you get that? He said in his dangerously calm voice. Jungkook knows very well that you do things like this only to tease him. You nodded your head playfully. He sighed, opened the door, and stepped out, carefully closing the door behind as if he was trying to hide away his most precious thing from the outside world. Time skipped. The clock in the kitchen struck 7:45 p.m. You beautifully set the table with a variety of Korean dishes. Lighting the scented candle, you looked at the table and smiled. Perfect. You sat and wiping your hands with a towel, you glanced at the time. Oh my, only 15 minutes to get ready. You mumbled to yourself and headed upstairs to your room, swinging open your bed wardrobe. Your eyes scanned for something elegant. It was either pajamas, casual lounge dresses, party wears, and red silk gowns. There was definitely nothing something Jungkook would approve. You sighed and wore the red gown. The fabric was shimmering under the room light. You let your hair open and applied a nude makeup on your face. Suddenly you heard a knock on the door. He is here. Your eyes widened and you quickly rushed out of the bathroom. Reaching the door, you twisted the door handle and opened it, and it revealed Jungkook along with his men Jiwon and Junyoung. They both were dressed in black suits, but the moment Jungkook's eyes fell on you, His sharp breath caught with his pupils dilated. One of his men, Junyoung, extended his hand to you with a smile. Hello, ma'am. You hesitated and reached your hand for him to shake. You are forgetting the basic manners. We don't shake hands with our people, we bow at them, he said in his dangerous voice. You gulped and bowed at his man with an awkward smile. They both looked at each other and then bowed at you back. He then motioned his man to follow him inside the dining room. Reaching the dining room, they both sat silently while Jungkook spoke. Will you please help me with drinks, Ryan? He asked, blinking at you to nod your head in yes. You frowned and looked at the dining table where you had already placed drinks. But I have already set the drinks here. Let's have food now. It is getting cold. You said and plopped on the chair beside you. Jungkook moved his hand in the air. Letting out a sigh, he spoke out. I need your help in something else, you know. But both the men looked at each other shocked and giggled. Cookie, yeah, aren't you feeling hungry? Come and have the dinner first, you said while grabbing the bowl of chapchai. Gritting his teeth while clenching his hands into face, he quickly sat on the chair next to you. You smiled at him while his jaw was clenched due to anger. Jungkook gulped, stretching his neck, not to create a scene. His men were chatting casually, complimenting the food, praising the mansion, and throwing harmless jokes. Boss, your wife has great taste both in food and style. You smiled politely, thank you. Eat your food silently. Junyang coughed awkwardly and nodded. You turned to Jungkook, whispering, so only he could hear. Why are you glaring like that? Jungkook didn't look at you. You gulped at his words and leaned little far from him. Few minutes passed when Junyang spoke out. Ma'am, can you pass the kimchi, please? You nodded and reached for the bowl, maintaining your polite posture. Of course, you said, extending a dish towards him. Your smile faltered. You looked down at your hand. Jungkook saw it. His eyes darkened. He lowered his chopsticks with a soft clink, while his jawline clenched. His hand balled into fist under the table. Before he could say something, Junior spoke out, breaking the silence. Ma'am, how do you maintain that figure? I mean, surely boss don't let you out the mansion often. Jungkook said slightly, turned towards Junyoung. Jungkook leaned down slightly. Jiwon sat beside him frozen while you flinched. Both of them scrambled out of their chairs and rushed outside the house as they know if they stay in front of Jungkook. Jungkook turned towards you. His breathing was still uneven. You blinked startled. Don't give me that excuse, he shouted while running her hand in his hair. But it is not my fault. You are overreacting. Jungkook scoffed dangerously. You don't get it, huh? Yeah, you don't get it. He said, his nostrils started to flare. But he didn't want it to sound cold to you. Why is everything suddenly my fault? Jungkook looked at your innocent face. He exhaled and walked upstairs to his bedroom. You mutter to yourself, rolling your eyes. Time skipped. The clock ticked past midnight. You were standing outside your bedroom door. You hesitated for a few seconds before quietly turning the knob. The room was dimly lit, shadows sprawled across the expensive interior. You looked at Jungkook, who was laying on the bed. You sighed, looking at him. Why he gets so mad? You muttered to yourself and tiptoed across the room. Tying your hair loosely, you turned towards the bed and whispered. But Jungkook didn't even open his eyes. Instead, he muttered coldly, "You are not going to sleep here." "Why are?" you asked, blinking. "It's my bed, Mr. Jungkook." Jungkook opened his eyes at the statement of yours. Wives don't listen to their husbands. They don't listen, He said, looking at you. I know I should have. You were speaking out, but he cut you off. "No excuse now. I'm not gonna listen to you." You stood there for seconds. "Fine," you muttered and picked up a small pillow from the bed. You then walked to the corner near the window and laid yourself on the floor before rolling your eyes. Hugging the pillow, you closed your eyes. "Childish. He didn't let me say sorry to him," you muttered under your breath. Jungkook felt bad, but he wanted you to realize your mistake. The next morning, you gasped in slow, feeling a strange weight pressing down on your blanket. Your brows frowned as you stared, rubbing your sleepy eyes. Your eyes widened in shock as you stared up. Jungkook was standing. His expressions were completely serious. "What on earth is happening?" you thought in your mind, with eyes as you were completely. Good morning, Jungkook." Nothing, not even a glance. He was looking complete serious. "I'm sorry, I should have not argued with you," but Jungkook just kept going. "Don't act like I am invisible." Jungkook didn't even flinch and kept doing push-ups. You sighed, looking at him. "So you won't listen to me like this? Never mind, I have other ways." You raised your eyebrow. Jungkook passed mid-step, feeling his heartbeat increasing. "Last warning, Jungkook," you said. He finally looked down into your eyes, his icy exterior melted like butter. "You know you are impossible. How much I try to stay angry, but I can't." "You know what are you doing?" he asked, smiling at you. "What?" you asked, pouting like an innocent puppy. Teasing me again?" You smiled internally, looking at him like an innocent doll. "Am I?" You laced the last word. Before you could say something else, he smiled at you and you smiled back at him.